up next, I really, really enjoyed this. Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman for the Blue Universal Championship. Very, very simple story in this one. Braun is super strong. Bray is creepy AF. And he knows Braun's weakness, which is running into things. So he used that to great effect. And then there was just beautiful character stuff all around this. There was a moment when sort of Bray got almost like powered up by Huskus the Pig Bear at ringside, and he's yelling at Braun, "You're making me do this. You made me do this." They had a moment when Bray was on top and Braun sort of emerges wearing the black sheep mask that has been sort of like central to the start of this feud. And they had the thing where it looked like that Braun had come back into the family, and all the puppets like Abby and Mercy were at ringside being like, "He's home. You've brought him home. Well done, Bray. He's going to be so happy," in reference to the Fiend. And then it turned out that Braun was faking all along, stamped on the mask, hit the power slam for the win. But I thought this was full of character work. I thought this was a nice first chapter in this feud. Because I said it on the SmackDown podcast on Saturday, I think there is still a lot more to this feud that can be mined from, given their history. I feel like they've only just scratched the surface. And this is a good first step to get to the Braun versus Fiend match, which is way more interesting.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a goddamn masterclass in losing nothing in defeat. Like that, I think that's what's brilliant about the sort of I think the sending Bray to the ring is a really brilliant idea, because one, it's so nice to see him be the flip side character to the Fiend. Like, the Fiend is obviously terrifying, and then to have Bray come out and go to the commentators like, "You're doing a good job," no matter what anyone says, like all that kind of stuff, like getting knocked over by Braun and going like, "Wow, you're really strong." Like, there were so many great like Brayisms in this match. But I also just really love because there's this point where he starts hurting Braun and he's like, "I don't want to do this," because the psychology just makes perfect sense, because he said, I asked the Fiend I asked the Fiend so that I would have this match, so he wouldn't hurt you, so he wouldn't come out here and destroy you. So I came out to try to bring you home almost in a non-violent fashion, but you're now forcing me to be violent because you're resisting. And it just makes that whole brilliant bit make sense. It lines up with this idea that they're going to have Fiend versus Braun down the line. Bray loses nothing in the loss because Bray isn't the power source anymore. Bray isn't like, cult leader era. Bray is he was meant to be the monster that he said he was. Whereas Bray now is the spokesperson for the monster. He is I'm the kind of like, the opposite side, the angel on the shoulder rather than the devil on the shoulder. And here is the match where they're trying to reconcile their differences through ideally just bringing him home. He wants the big finale of this match is he wants a hug. It's like, I love it. I just thought it was so good. And I think Braun was really good in this as well.
Credit to Braun. I thought he was good.
Yeah, and I think because I didn't necessarily enjoy the just play with your puppet stuff from SmackDown before this, but I thought here all the stuff that was sort of said between them and all the moments and the using the sheep mask were really smart choices. And I just think in a match in which everyone knew that Bray was going to lose going into it. I don't think anyone on our team predicted that Bray was going to win. I think in that situation, you just like. They just did it perfectly. Yeah,
I thought they absolutely nailed this. And right at the end of the match, when sort of Bray's in the corner, we got very much a overt thing saying, "By the way, the Fiend is coming up. Like, the Fiend is going to come in because, the Fiend's now upset that Bray lost this, in the sort of like crazy psychological world that Bray has found himself in." You can find out more about that in an excellent 3-part series called Explained over on Parts Unknown. Our mods will be putting a link to that in the chat, so go and watch all 3 parts of that because they're excellent stuff.